Mr. Wright, do you go to any specific church?
Yes, I go occasionally to this one and then sometimes to that one. But my church, I put a capital N on nature and go there.
Next 3 weeks will be leaf season. She's so funny. Well, we've been given this gift. I mean, really a gift. This last design from this completely influential, most famous architect, Frank Lloyd Wright, and we're gonna build it.
But we get a spec book from
Yeah.
1959 that doesn't have anything available to us anymore.
So we've got different products, vendors that have gone out of business, different codes, but given all of those issues and challenges and everything else, it's gonna look the same way it was supposed to look in 1959. No big deal.
So this summer, we were able to get the Architectural Review Board of Willoughby Hills to okay our building plan.
So I'll make the motion to approve the Riverrock house.
It's happening. To Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yep, right.
We have a finite budget, therefore we have to stick within the 1-year time period, and we have to get done certain things on certain deadlines, and the biggest one right now is making sure that we get excavated, we get the block walls up, we get the steel and the framing done for the roof, and we get that subroof on before the end of the year.
Oh, yay. So we took down the trees and we're ready to go, except we need a general contractor.
We will need a team to help us. It is gonna be probably the biggest challenge of my life, for sure, to do this.
We're in the fall.
There's no more mosquitoes.
Where is she?
The next big thing is a big dig. And maybe I'll get to do it.
You just need to stick with shovels.
No. I gotta do something more than a shovel. It's a great day today because today we get to break ground. Happy groundbreaking day.
Happy groundbreaking day.
Big day.
It is a big day.
Where's Paul?
Where is Paul?
I'm very determined to build Riverrock in 1 year because Frank Lloyd Wright's most famous, iconic home, Falling Water, was built in about 1 year. Riverrock can't possibly take longer than Falling Water.
Here's the money shot. Hurry up.
The money shot. 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
This
dig
is
it up.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
One of the biggest obstacles we've had is finding a general contractor. We've gone through a handful and they've not worked out for whatever reason. It's either, it's gonna take too long, it's too expensive, it's not in their business plan. So we're still here searching. I have a ton of anxiety about going forward, even though this one is like, we gotta keep moving, we gotta keep moving. So we'll keep moving, I'll keep dealing with my anxiety, and we'll go to the next step.
It's hard for me to put myself in that position, but somebody has to be the driving force. If that's me today, that'll be me today. And she will, at some point, take those reins or pass them off to somebody else. Okay, let's go. Let's get to work. Somebody get to work.
She's very bossy.
I am.
Well, right now, we're in charge. Some of the faces are familiar. We're using my uncle for a lot of the site prep. It's exactly what his guys do all the time. Put in streets, put in utilities. We have one big naysayer in our family, which is Billy, and it drives both of us that much harder. You've known Gary forever.
Yep, he worked for me. His dad worked with my father.
Right.
And it just keeps getting handed down.
Think I can convince Billy to let me dig the first dig?
No.
Why?
Because.
You're not allowed in the machine.
Why?
You might be like your uncle.
No, I'm not at all.
He's not gonna let you.
So what are the chances that you'll let me do the first dig? The first scoop?
Is that Sarah in there? Oh my God. And at least it can't go very fast.
How do I go left?
Look at her smiling. She's so happy. We really do need to find a general contractor, somebody that will oversee everything, because if not, we're going to be really in trouble if Sarah is doing the driving and digging.
Oh my God. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Where should I put it?
Yeah. What a moment.
Okay, get out.
This is an important piece of history.
While you were digging up that dirt, I was like, my God, it's taken, I can't remember how many years to get to this point.
Right.
My dad never let go of the dream to build this house.
Yeah.
He always had it bubbling in the back of his imagination. So here we are. I'm not going to stop to count the number of years it's been. Finally getting started. All good things occur when their time is right. So I'm enjoying this. I hope you are.
I am.
Okay,
I have to drive
good.
a big tractor.
Yeah, right. Had you driven it before?
No.
And now he's going to dig the tree up.
No, he's not allowed to touch that tree. I got it all protected. We had an arborist come over on Friday.
Oh, good.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking, a lot of anxiety to get it right, to make sure that it's what we intend it to be, that Frank Lloyd Wright vision without him being here. There's anxiety with just doing that piece alone. Yeah, that's the door and it comes in.
Ooh, big hole.
Ooh, holes!
Being a steward of a Frank Lloyd Wright house puts a lot of pressure because people are viewing it in picture form or in person. You want it to be perfect. So I don't like it when the paint chips off or some of the veneer comes off of something, because it's a monumental task to fix those things. It's difficult sometimes.
Concrete for footings, foundations, material lists. How do I do this? Crap, I hung up on him. What's up?
Well, the drawings that we had at the site yesterday showed these steps in the footers, but there was no location. So we stopped this morning because when we took the drawing that we got from Lewin and we took the drawing that we got from Rob, the both didn't match. The wall lines didn't match. In one location, they were like off just a little over 6 inches. You know, somebody didn't have the latest set of drawings. So,
Okay.
So the foundation crew is not going to be coming today because there were some missing details on their site plan that the engineer has to provide to the site engineer, and that didn't happen. So they're doing all that now.
It's a shame because, you know, we had plans to do things with them today, and now it's going to be an extra day.
Right.
Just something we have to be aware of going forward. Every single day, to look at the plans, to look at the contractor that's coming that day, make sure you go over things with them before they start so there's no mix-ups. The day before, you make sure you have everything that they need.
Like I keep saying, nobody's more invested than the two of us in this project.
Yep, I agree. And I really think we should stop until we figure this out.
Who's going to be in charge?
Yes.
Okay. It's coming down. Ugh. We need to decide on a general contractor. We've gone through all the options, and we need to make a decision if it's going to be us or if we're going to continue to delay this project We're kind of running out of options.
We were counting on a general contractor, and I don't know how we're going to find that person at this point.
Right. We've always said that we aren't afraid to build the house. I mean, you've got plenty of experience. I can just listen to your commands and go. Like, that would just be a normal day.
You're very humorous today.
But the only parts that I'm not comfortable with is the whole foundation digging and utilities.
Do you know what order those things need to happen in?
Well, I know you work bottom to top. So I'm not putting a roof on until I get a foundation dug. And then there's some footers.
You need some walls to put the roof on.
Footers, I need walls.
So, do you want to take this on, the you and me, and
I mean, we have to.
you're comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay, then I am too.
Oh, Lord.
We will do the best we can.
Right. We get the dream team going.
Dream team according to whom? You know, my family's been in the building business in this area for over 100 years. So we are the first two women to do that.
So one of the things I've been thinking about is that a lot of Frank Lloyd Wright's clients were so hands-on with the builds. And I know we're probably way over our skis, but it's feeling more and more like that's the direction we're getting pushed in.
Not only that, but there were not a lot of general contractors around like there are today. You didn't have those choices.
Right.
You know, you went with one or you went with yourself and your uncle because he was a carpenter.
I mean, Lewis built this house for the most part
he did.
with his friends and people that he knew in the trade business.
Yeah, he taught himself how to do masonry work.
We're not going to teach ourselves the masonry work. We're going to stop at general contractor.
Now that we're general contractors, we figured out the right plans.
Now we got to finish up the foundation.
So that means we're going to keep digging until the hole is dug.
The irony of my mother being told to stay in her lane when she was younger and not do these things, and now we're going to take on the most iconic architect in America and his last project.
And here we are.
Managing this project is going to be a team effort, and we'll definitely have to pass the baton back and forth between us.
For me, the biggest issue is going to be able to push you without you getting angry at me.
I don't get angry at you.
Well, you get frustrated.
Her, like, not best skills, they're my better skills. I can get on the computer, I can schedule stuff, I can email, you know, like all that stuff. She's really good at knowing more of the trades and the detail in the building because she's done it before.
Holy crap.
That's nuts.
Well, quit pulling it apart.
Yeah, don't do that. Leave that alone.
Shale, just like the river.
Yeah, for sure.
The first 4-ish months will be mostly doing the footers, the block work, and I think just trying to keep ahead of my learning process and their build process.
Yeah, it's 7 or 8 inches. 7 or 8
Concrete
inches.
slabs. We just need to make sure that we can talk the talk with these guys because we don't want to be delayed every other week when somebody brings some plans to the house.
The biggest challenge I think we're going to face is making sure that that roof, that cantilevers over an edge, doesn't get taken away with the wind or dropped because of the snow.
And the original plans were not made with today's code and engineering. And we have 15-foot pieces of wood called mullions, very thin pieces, that are supposed to hold up this roof, and plates of giant glass. And Frank Lloyd Wright's known to have saggy cantilevers. So this house has to be structurally stronger.
We need to meet with Isaac Lewin, our structural engineer, so that he can make sure that the roof stays exactly where it's supposed to be. Since you and I have decided that we're going to be the general contractors, we've got to understand the structural engineering of this building. I personally am not familiar with structural engineering.
In reality, what's going to end up happening is that we're going to make structural changes to make this thing A, buildable, B, affordable, and C, structurally sound. In going through this, I think he missed a few steel beams here and there that I wanted to make sure we got. The biggest problem is typical of what we find with Frank, is that his cantilevers are huge and they always sag.
Right.
And he was the designer, and he was going to design what he wanted to design.
No matter what the
No matter what the consequences were. And he liked things being very thin. That was one of the hallmarks of his designs. So he always tried to do minimal as possible. And he just picked the wrong size beams, in my opinion.
We got to stop asking what would Frank do.
That leads me into the mullions.
The mullions are wood posts. They're what the door frames into, but in this instance, it also holds up the roof.
These mullions are currently supposed to be 1.5 inches.
Looking at that has given me, for lack of a better term, a little bit of conniptions. As far as I'm concerned, the 1.5 inches is off the table. And I was going to show you up here, I'm going to end up recommending doing 3-inch mullions. Think about a sipping straw that you go to McDonald's and get. You know, it comes a certain length, and you press on it when it's real short, and it doesn't do anything. But then when you put like 5 straws together, and you press on it, all of a sudden it buckles. It bends over. And that's the concern with these mullions. This is what the standard of design was when Frank was designing houses back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s versus what we have to do today because of all sorts of research.
Okay. Because we don't have the option of using the Philippine mahogany.
Right, because it's not available.
Yeah.
But
It's
would
also
that
not
have
strong
held
enough.
up?
It's
Yeah,
also,
would
not,
that have
it's
held
also
up?
not strong enough.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
We switched stronger, stiffer, harder piece of wood, and you go to the 3-inch mullions. That's the only choice I see.
All right, so we're gonna have to work through that because that wood is the same throughout the whole house.
Right.
In furniture, in built-ins, in doors, all of it. So
You're going to have to be able to accept some changes to make it buildable and make it structurally sound.
okay. For now, what we need to do is figure out what to do with the wood mullions. And the next part is to make sure that we have the right wood species structurally, as well as the look and feel that's gonna go on the inside.
And colder, darker early. My family, we do things the old Ohio way. Us crazy fools feed the wild animals, but mostly the deer, corn every day. They get 2 bags every 2 nights. And the deer have been eating this corn since either the deer or the corn was here first. I don't know which. They live a long, happy life. Happy deer, happy property. Mom gets happy because then they don't eat her flowers. See you in the morning.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
When concrete and steel were found to be able to sleep together and stay together, the body of our modern world was born.
So right now we've got 2 trucks getting ready to pull into the drive. They're gonna be our first 2 trucks of delivery for the house. It's super exciting. While the cement block is going in, it gives us a chance to figure out what to do with these wood mullions. The spec book calls for Philippine mahogany, so we need a different wood because the Philippine mahogany is commercially no longer available and it's not strong enough. So we need to find a wood that's strong enough that also matches our colors because it goes throughout the whole house. So we're going to a lumberyard and we're gonna see various species of wood so that we can pick one that's as close to the spec that we can.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Good morning.
Hi.
Welcome to Marsh Valley.
We're here to look at wood.
Yeah.
And what types of wood are you looking for?
Something that will hold up a 160-foot long roof,
Okay.
2 to 3 inches wide, 16 feet tall.
The call out is to use a Philippine mahogany, which nobody can get
as far as I know.
That's going to be impossible to get.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There is a call out for the red tidewater cypress.
In that species, it doesn't come in that length.
Okay. And then we've looked at and considered some of the stronger woods like ipe.
Ipe is very strong.
Right.
Lasts forever.
But the coloring isn't quite right
Correct.
for us.
It's dark.
Yeah, because we need more of a redder tone.
The color's going to be hard to match.
Right.
In a red.
Right.
But I do have something that can probably work.
Lead the way.
Okay. I like this mahogany. It's got a nice red color.
And which kind is this? Which specific mahogany?
Sapelli mahogany, and that's readily available.
Okay. And it's strong.
Very strong.
Very strong.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the length we would use.
For the mullions.
This is almost the width. As long as we can get this in 3 inches, we'll be good to go.
It's very pretty.
It is pretty. And with just a clear coat on it, it would be beautiful.
Yeah. And I know that we're still in the process of our engineer trying to make it
make sure it's structurally
sound. But I think that this is
our go-to.
This is our winner right now.
Great.
Thank you very much
Yes.
for helping us get to that point.
I appreciate you coming to Marsh Valley.
Thanks again. Hopefully, we have solved at least one of our puzzles today.
I think we have.
Our choice is a Sapelli mahogany. It's readily available, it's very sustainable. We can get it 16 feet high, which is what we need for the mullions, and everybody's happy, including our structural engineer, that the house isn't gonna fall over. There's some pieces of this build that I just don't know at all, and I don't feel like I have time to even try to understand. I'm still working on my real job. So we are using this team of experts. Any kind of issues or hurdles or things we don't know come up, we have this whole awesome team behind us. Close your eyes, Rob.
Too late.
It's a big secret. It's a big surprise.
Look at that.
Lewis's son, Paul Penfield, he was trying to do this same project.
Yeah.
And his architect did this by hand. So, you know, you've really gotten out of a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because I don't see you making any models by hand with balsa wood.
Well, I don't have to. It's right here. You're on the other side.
Rob Shearer is our architect on record.
Oh, it's really low, the roof.
When other people were doing it, it felt like I could just go to work and come back and say, oh, look, there's all this work is being done. I felt removed from it more. And now it's like, okay, great, we broke ground. Oh, by the way, I gotta go get a porta potty because I didn't get one yet.
Hi. It's just me.
Come look at our model.
Oh.
The best part about being the GCs is Billy now works for us.
Yeah, okay. Let's see how long that lasts.
3 skylights at the top, same exact profile on the inside, same dimensions.
They don't have a...
Careful of the trees. We like to keep the trees up, remember? You guys are going to dig footers. So we got utilities, driveway, storm drains.
Yeah. Now we got to figure out how to knock those trees down accidentally.
Thank goodness you're not on the machines.
I can be.
No, you can't.
I got a key.
I don't think anybody would let you on. But, you know.
It's my machine.
Sarah
It's
got
hard
to drive it.
Yeah, I know. That's scary.
Now that we've dragged you into our wonderful mess, that you like to say, our beautiful house, you will appreciate our drive for authenticity. What do you think?
I'll let you know when it's done.
Oh.
That's all I can tell you.
As an architect, how would you like to change the way that we live?
I wouldn't like to change so much the way we live as what we live in and how we live in it.
Frank Lloyd Wright wanted to get away from all these houses that just looked one right after another were the same. And the Usonian houses came about from Frank, where he wanted middle America to be able to live in a beautiful home, something that brought nature in. We're sitting in the Penfield house, which is a Usonian house. It was meant to be affordable for the middle class, and Riverrock, too, is a Usonia house. Winter's coming, and we never know what that's gonna be like here. So we want the block up, we want to have some framing in, and we want to have that subroof on, because that would allow us to continue working protected from the elements. But we might not hit that goal, and it makes me really nervous that we'll have to pause without the building being protected. We do have the footers in, we do have the block being raised, and every day it looks a little bit different, but it's super exciting to see that progress.
Ready?
What are we doing?
We're walking through and we're doing a tour together.
But there's no walls.
Well, the outside walls are there, so you have to be a little bit creative in that brain of yours.
Don't be criticizing my brain.
I didn't criticize anything.
Be glad it's still working. I come in here.
Yep.
Ugh, it feels really small. Let's go take a look at the kitchen.
Okay. It's not very big. Oh, it echoes in here now.
You're going to be able to go touch rock to rock with your arms.
Pretty close.
Imagine on both sides of you, 24 inches coming off the wall for your cabinets.
Oh, no, I know. It's teeny tiny.
There's not going to be room for passing.
But it's tall.
It's tall.
Okay, let's go into the living room area. So we come in right off there, take 2 small steps to get up to the base here, which will still feel low.
Yeah, it will.
It will all feel dark and low on here. Right, it's very low here. I mean, it just shoots you out kind of a tunnel.
Yeah.
To the other side where it'll open up. But this should all feel very open. This is all glass with just some framing.
I mean, it'll feel bigger than it is because of the high ceilings.
And the glass.
I mean, that always does that, and the glass.
Yeah.
It's interesting how it changes as we move forward with the building, how the feeling changes.
So we did just walk through the house, and it does the compression and release from Frank Lloyd Wright. That was one of his themes of his homes. And sometimes when we walk through it, it's very constricting airspace. Like you want to get out of that and into the bigger space. This one in particular, we have to constantly remind ourselves, is not a falling water. It's a Usonian house, which was meant to be affordable, smaller. And so it's very narrow. That's what it was supposed to be. From my understanding and readings, Frank Lloyd Wright was always considered to be ahead of his time. And so these Usonian houses were not the typical box homes. These homes were cutting edge. And it was hugely innovative at the time. They were at the World Fair, and that's where Usonia, the little town in New York, came about, which has multiple Frank Lloyd Wright houses on it, as well as other homes considered inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright.
The Frank Lloyd Wright designed Usonian homes were decreed to be in a modern organic style, and because Wright's work always arose from conversation with clients, their memories are almost as important as drawings to understand the origins of his design.
They're built for a person, the owners that really come with the houses. And there is currently only one living original Usonian homeowner. His name is Roland Riesli. He's 100 years old. He had a really special relationship with Frank, and they built that house back in 1951. And he still lives in it today. There's his house.
Yeah, there's his house. Oh my God, look at that.
Hello.
Good to see
You as well.
Come in.
Thank you.
Helen's in here.
Okay.
So, introduce me to the
I'm Sarah.
the victims of this enterprise.
That would be me.
Debbie.
Sarah and Debbie.
Yes. You sure have a lot of memories here.
This is me. This is Frank Lloyd Wright.
So you've lived basically your entire adult life here.
Yes. We were just married.
Right.
Well, we didn't dream of approaching Frank Lloyd Wright. A young engineer, a friend of mine, said, he's going to be here in the next few weeks, and I'm going to show him your land and tell him about you. Maybe he'll want to design a house for you. No way. But a couple of weeks later, he said, he's interested. Call him. I'm 26, he's 84. And I think that there was a connection. He became a mentor and ultimately a friend. There were questions and changes. He sent us some preliminary drawings. My wife said, there's no broom closet. And we told him we have a lot of books. He didn't give us any book space. There was a question, for example, will this roof, is just supported in 3 places. Will this roof stand up? And he said, it's going to be fine, don't worry about it. Anyway, I went to see him, and he saw that I had some questions. He said, come on, Roland, I will redesign your house as many times as I have to until I've satisfied all of your needs. You have to speak up, otherwise you'll take what you get. I and many in the Wright community believe that these are houses to be lived in, not museums. If they're going to be lived in, they have to satisfy the needs of the occupants. But let's walk through and then we'll talk some more later.
You lead the way.
And if you look at that photograph, it's a picture of Mr. Wright standing where the photograph is.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah, same spot.
Although we hadn't had children yet, we told him we're going to. He said, well, let's make this counter higher than standard, and you're going to be able to bathe and change babies without putting another piece of furniture.
That's all original in there?
Yeah.
Oh.
But because of all the technological changes, got to face a number of things that require change from what was drawn. How to decide how much change, what kind of change is acceptable. And you can see we're in this corridor with a low ceiling.
Very low.
And it's supposed to make us feel a little bit compressed, but not suddenly thrust into a great open space. And then we come into the living area.
And here's the release.
And here's the release. And Wright designed the complete house, inside and outside. He believed that buildings should be natural, should be of the land, using natural materials. Glass, stone, wood, cement, no paint, no wallpaper, and used in a way that reflects the land. In most modernist houses, a wall like that would be a sheet of glass from floor to ceiling. Wright said, you know, the house should provide a sense of shelter. It's important to feel sheltered. And he has these deep overhangs which essentially keep the sun out in the summertime, bring it in for some solar gain. And he also wanted to leave the mullions there so you have some sense of being inside. It doesn't prevent you from feeling connected to the outside. And for that to be all glass or this way, functionally, it works the same way. And Mr. Wright would have said, what you should look at primarily is how does the space make you feel, not how does it look. And it should be better understood not only by clients who look at architecture in terms of how it looks, with less awareness of how does it feel when you're there.
Right.
It's why preservation is so meaningful.
Whenever I go to our Penfield house, it makes feeling hugged, just like a big, huge hug. So there's that feeling.
Many years ago, I had an epiphany. I realized that not a day of my life went by where I did not see something beautiful in this house. Not a single day. I see the light off the stone. I see the way the wood is mitered and joined and the grain patterns. Subtle in the background, but it's always there. People say to me, Roland, you don't look your age. What's your secret? That leads me to my strong feeling of how important the built environment is. It's profoundly significant in terms of the quality of life that people experience all the time.
We've always heard how Frank Lloyd Wright was very strict about his design. But what I got from Roland was actually the opposite. They had a really great collaboration and they did make changes. And Frank was like, well, this is your house. Of course, if you need that, we're gonna put that in there. So I do feel confident in just the structural changes. I mean, that's a huge thing to make sure your house isn't gonna fall over. Obviously, we still tried to make them under the skin so that the house would look the same. But that's at least one hurdle that feels good.
He was 100 years old. He must have done something right.
Yeah, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
I had an idea that I had discovered something tremendously important to civilization. The reality of a building didn't consist in the walls and the roof of that structure, but in the space in here to be lived in.
It's winter now. We are behind schedule. We wanted to be under roof of some sort.
Yeah.
Temporary, full, doesn't matter. It has to be above freezing to do cement block work. And we had some snow and then it got warm, but then it rained and rained and rained. They just couldn't get it finished.
I'm super excited about steel going up because finally we'll get to start building a roof. So today, we're gonna talk with Joe and Rob and hopefully make some decisions on the roof and the mullions so we can keep marching forward. We're gonna have to start making decisions pretty quickly here. You know, we wanna go with the sapelli wood. We still have to go a thicker width on those mullions, but it's almost like we didn't have a choice. And so then the thought is, well, what do we do with, you know, these other front windows? Do we keep them as they are on the plan because we don't have to make them as thick? Or do we match them up with the thickness over here?
The idea was for them all to be thin so that only
Right.
do it where you really had to do it.
Right.
I do like the idea of at least having some that are the original width so that years from now, people can still look at that and someone who's informed can say, this is what it all was supposed to be.
Right, right. And so when we get to this piece right here, where those smaller mullions, I know we've kind of gone back and forth with how much steel is going to be across here.
Right.
Do you think they didn't build it with as much steel initially just because of when it was built?
Possibly. I mean, you know, it's a Usonian house too, right?
Yeah.
Steel's always
Yeah.
been expensive.
Right.
So the idea for these was to be less expensive.
And we got the steel worked out with Isaac Lewin now, so in fact, Rob's put it into the model so you could see where the steel is.
So this is sort of the design, you know, as it will be finished. It should look something like that. So let's have a look at just the steel. Here's that once upon a time 12 by 12 wood that we now have as steel.
Okay.
We have this piece here that Isaac designed to pick up the cantilever, which is mostly steel again, because it's a long way out there to hold up all of that snow and wind uplift and all that kind of good stuff.
Of course, the big goal is that the overhangs won't sag when we're done because of
Right.
the steel.
Yeah.
Are you still comfortable with using this amount of steel and that original design?
If we don't, it's going to fall over. We don't want it to fall over.
Yeah.
Or blow away.
Or blow away in the next big gust. And again, I've never been opposed to doing stuff underneath to make it a better structure. To me, the design is the look and the feel, not necessarily what's holding it up. So I think we'll be able to do it.
You think?
I hope. I'm going with it.
Well, of course, we have glass and steel, which the classics didn't have. Greeks and the Romans, if they had, we wouldn't have to do any thinking now. We'd copy what they did. We'll build better and better buildings than we will if we got the principle of good building.
I'm excited to get steel up.
Once they put that steel up and the top of the framing of the roof, it just makes it come alive. Just come alive, like this is going to be something soon, which is so exciting.
Any minute steel delivery. Any second now, steel's gonna be here.
Hey, what's going on? You need to tie your scarf.
No, I need to choke somebody with it.
Why?
Steel's not coming.
Why not?
The truck broke.
Oh. So when will it be coming?
Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. The truck left Toledo.
Yes.
And about 15 miles down the road, it broke.
You have to know.
Inefficiency.
I keep telling you, there are going to be setbacks. Money, time, and people. Don't groan. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Maybe this is why I didn't go into the family business.
Maybe. They weren't going to raise it anyway. It was just going to come here today. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Not getting steel delivered on time is super stressful. It's one of those things that has a dependency. So I don't get my steel, I can't get my roof on. And as the owner builder now, it feels all on my watch. I am really competitive, and that competitive nature was created by the person sitting next to me, who is also as competitive, if not more than I am. And so to have this project in front of us and to be raised to do it right, to do it successfully, to do it on time, to do it better. I grew up as a swimmer. My mom asked me when I was 8 years old if I wanted to swim because she used to swim. So of course I said yes.
This race is a sprint, 100 yards.
15 years of competitive swimming. I mean, everything was a race to me, whether it was practice, whether it was a competition, you know.
They're on a very good pace right now, but we see a strong Sarah Dykstra coming on, and it's the last 10 strokes into the wall that is going to call a finish.
Dykstra overtook her at the end.
I coached Sarah for 2 years, but the competitive nature with both my kids came from the very beginning when we played the game Sorry, because I would not let them win. I have always been innately into education. I mean, I have learned so much, not only through this project, but since I've been out of school. And so I always tried to instill that, you know, there's never a day that you can't learn something new.
So with this project, to me, it's just another thing to learn, which is fun. We did get our steel delivered.
They did finish the block work last week, and we just started putting steel on yesterday.
We're having a great winter as far as weather goes. We only had 2 really bitter cold weeks. It was pretty dry. We were able to get back on schedule, which is awesome.
Nice. What's he doing?
He's banging on the welds, make sure nothing chips off.
Oh, Jesus.
So overall, what do we think?
It's looking good. I mean, they're doing a good, conscientious job. That's why I was hammering over there. I wanted to make sure that the welds would look good. Over there's all the detail work with the monster cantilever.
We started out with 2-dimensional plans. And since the fall, we've been able to make a 3-dimensional structure. We have footers, we have walls, we have steel, we have a subroof. And it's been quite a crazy 6 months to get here, but I feel a lot has been done. So that's exciting. We're getting ready to do what people are gonna see, but it has been a lot of stress to figure out if we're doing it right. Most of his roofs are known to leak.
This could work, and it could give us the aesthetic at least without being the metal that the spec calls for.
I hate the Kemper roof.
Here they come.
They're stoned.
Better be the right ones.
That stone is off the spec. That's a square. We can't have squares.
Correct.
We have enough.
And that is literally all the concrete we have left.
The house is a home.
And we're gonna have a piece of our own little history.